celebrates the victory of light over darkness and of good over evil. For more on exactly what it entails, I'm joined now by Rabbi Zalman Lent and Cara Steen, a student at the Jewish school Stratford College here in Dublin. Thank you both very much indeed for coming into us this morning. We're going to take a look first of all at a video that the students in your school have made. Okay, so you would have been involved in the making of this video, yeah? And what was the purpose? To show some of the rites and rituals of Hanukkah?
Yeah, pretty much, and just to show all the students in our school what we do in Jewish studies as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and you teach Jewish studies in the school as well as obviously being a rabbi, but just tell us, what is Hanukkah? Why are you celebrating over these 8 days, and why 8 days?
Sure. So Hanukkah is, as you said, an 8-day festival, and it recalls events that happened just over 2,000 years ago, where the Jewish people in Israel are attacked by the Syrian Greek armies. But not just attacked, they were actually trying to eradicate the Jewish traditions, so they're forbidden from practicing the Jewish, the Sabbath and circumcision and eating kosher and public prayer, and all of those things are forbidden. They're being forced to worship idols and sacrifice pigs, things that are anathema to the Jewish people. And so a small group of Jewish people decide to rebel. They're going to fight the Syrian Greek armies, and they're going to protect their faith and protect their people. And what happens is they go to war. There are two miracles that happen. One miracle is they're victorious over the Syrian Greek armies. That's one miracle. And the second one is when they return to the Holy Temple, which has been desecrated. They want to light the candelabra in the temple, which was called the menorah. It was lit with olive oil. They only found one small jar of olive oil, enough to burn for one single day, and it burns for 8 days until they're able to produce a fresh supply of olive oil. So the festival remembers those miracles, and we have an 8-day festival remembering those 8 days.
Right, so that's what you're commemorating, if you like. What do you actually do nowadays to celebrate the festival? Well, I mean, what did you do last night in your home, for example, Cara?
Well, just the family got together and we lit the menorah.
Yeah.
And we sang songs, and it was just really nice.
And the coloured items there, what are they called?
They're called dreidels.
Dreidels. So what did you do with them?
They're like a spinning top. It's just a game you play. You just pick them up and you spin them, and it's kind of like a lottery, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the kids put like nuts or chocolates in the middle of the table, and there are different letters on each side, and depending what letter you get, you win some of the pot, or you have to put something into the pot. And this reminds us of, again, back in the day when the Jews were prohibited from having Jewish studies. So the kids would be studying Torah in the classroom. If they heard the soldiers outdoors, they would quickly put the books away and start playing games. And so this is just one of the games, and it reminds us of the games that they played back
And
then.
do you do things like exchange gifts? I mean, have other kind of traditions crept into the way in which you celebrate Hanukkah?
They do. I mean, there are lots of gifts given on Hanukkah, but that's really, I think that's just an effect of Christmas. You know, the kids look around and they say, hey, everyone's getting presents. Where are our presents? It's not part of the Hanukkah tradition.
Yeah. And for example, Karen, your family, will you also celebrate Christmas this year?
No, we used to when we were younger, but not anymore. Like all our
Really?
friends do, so we go around to our friends' houses, but not really in my home. We don't.
That's
do it
interesting.
anymore.
I see in America there's a big, it's Thanksgiving today in America, and it's fallen for the first time in 125 years on the same day as Hanukkah. There's a huge deal going on over there about it. Are you aware of all that?
There is, because I think the way the calendar works, it's not going to happen for another 80,000 years, which is enormous time, unless the Jewish calendar is corrected slightly.
Yeah.
So Americans all over the world are making a very big deal. They're having their turkey and their menorah at the same time.
They're calling, what are they calling it? They're calling it Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's a mixture of Thanksgiving and Hanukkah together.
And can I ask you, I mean, the Jewish community in Ireland has really shrunk, has it? I mean, you were saying there at its peak it was 5,000. Where are you at now in terms of numbers?
Very small. I think the entire population in the country is about 2,000 Jewish people, and probably 1,500 of those live in Dublin, so very small.
And is that very difficult then I mean, for example, Cara, you know, as a practicing Jew, you would probably like to marry another practicing Jew. You know, is that something that concerns you, or does it bother you? Is it something you think about?
It'd be ideal and easier, and also like there is only around 3 other boys my age in the country who are Jewish, so.
So what does that mean for you?
No, like,
do you like any of them?
No.
But I mean, I suppose on a serious note, you would like to marry somebody of the Jewish faith?
Yeah, it would be a lot easier, especially like introducing them to the family and stuff. Yeah, so probably they would be not from Ireland if I was to marry them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a difficult stage, I suppose, for the faith in Ireland in terms of it going on.
It's difficult because, you know, Jewish people here are really well integrated and love being in Ireland, love being Irish citizens, very proud of it. But the one thing they want is that the traditions continue. And usually that's very difficult if there's an interfaith partner. So that's, you know, that's one thing that parents are very concerned. They would like their children to marry a Jewish spouse, preferably Irish. And so the children will continue the traditions. And, you know, that is quite difficult.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you very much indeed, both of you, for coming in to us. And happy Hanukkah. Enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, now, the last